All right, this is finally done. My 10x10 John Suscovich chicken tractor. It took a while. Sorry for it took so long. Got real busy with kids' sports and work and everything else. You know, springtime. It's a million projects to go. And I use these old boat lift tires. Instead of throwing them out, I figured to use them here. As you can see, when this goes up, when I lift this up, it will push that side down. And then when I unhook this, I left the chain extra long, so when you unhook it, it will go back down. And I also have it offset a little bit, so when I grab this and lift it, it will automatically want to come off. And then when I want to bring it up, you just lift it on this side with one hand, and you can get the other one, put that down there. It's easy enough for my son to do, so I feel like it shouldn't be a problem. So if I'm not here, somebody else can move the chickens for me. Then this back support, only other thing is I'm going to hang a bucket right here for my bell water to go down from that top support, hang down inside there. And then I'll hang the feeder from up top too. That's 1-inch conduit going across, so it's pretty rigid. And I also have my little hookups for my drag. One thing I would do differently there is I would take those, I'm gonna re-drill a hole, put it this way, so it doesn't crimple. As you can see, it crimples the metal a little bit. This one's pretty crimpled, but I'll put that. I'm gonna secure these sleds here, these little shoes. I'm gonna take these and probably put it right here and screw it in. And that's just to kind of always keep it up. There's just only like, I mean, if you can tell, there's only like 3/4 of an inch underneath there. And that's not too big. I think I'll just leave those on. And that's just to help with it dragging. Because the back end, if it wasn't high enough originally, because I only had it like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch off the ground. So I had to make that chain shorter, so it would lift the chicken tractor higher, so it would clear the ground a lot better. So that's not as much of a problem now, I hope. With these, I can drag it a lot easier now, and my son can drag it too. But just a little walk around so you guys can kind of see what I did. I might add another support down there because I got to make one more of these, and I'll have some extra wood, and then I can finish up those. Then the door, I got a nice one of those little garden latches right there, a little pointed. The one thing I got to do with this door is down here I have a little bit of a gap down here because I tried to make it exact, and as you can see, it just kind of pulled out. So what I need to do is I just need to unscrew. This is not glued, so I'll just unscrew it and bring it down, and then tighten it up and put some staples and stuff on the sides to make a lock. And if you guys use this style of lock, make sure you put this in the little drill hole through, put a string or a wire, so if you get locked in, you can't get your fingers around to unlock it. So you just pull the string or wire and you can open the door. And then a couple other things I did was, for these conduits, these 3/4 conduits going on the side, I used they're 10-foot sticks. I didn't need the full 10 feet, so I didn't want to make it too short, so I made it so I can walk in here. And then as you can see, and I'm about 6'4", and my head, I have another about 3 or 4 inches above my head, which is nice, so I don't have to bend over at all. And I took the ends here, I made it a little extra long, and then bent it down so you can see it's below this conduit. So if the wind flaps, if I ever take this off or anything, the tarp has no way of getting caught on there, but it's not hanging down too low where it's a risk to hit your head on. And I used, to help screw this in, I made a bracket out of the cutoff of this conduit. And all I did was just use some screws right here. These are self-tapping, and here these are metal self-tapping, and then these are just deck screws. All in all, it wouldn't have taken too long if I would have more time to actually get out and make it, but it'd probably only take you a weekend to get it all done. One day to let the screw it together and let the glue dry, and then bending the conduit goes pretty quick, and using a hacksaw or sawzall will work pretty good for cutting those conduits. The only other thing is I'd probably make this a little bit taller so I don't have the wire hanging up, because I almost made a mistake again of having this hardware cloth hit the ground. It's still probably almost, it's a little, only about like a 1/4 inch above the bottom. It's kind of bad angle, but Clover's in the way. And that becomes a problem because it will grab more of the stuff and stuff. Just like a smooth board goes through the grass a lot better than that, like the little edges on the edge of that hardware cloth. So got it all done. It wasn't too bad. You guys will see a video of when I actually put them in. You'll see the final setup. I can put a link to that. But if you guys have any other questions or comments or anything, leave them down below. And I hope this really helps. I couldn't find anything online, so I figured on like a 10x10 John Suscovich chicken tractor. So I decided to make one. So let me know down below if you guys found this video helpful.